Continuing the video, I want to show you some of the options available to us after we select an image in our content toolbar. The first, once again, are the horizontal and the vertical scale. Okay, always remember to keep your image proportional, which means these numbers will be the same. And then over here, down here, these 5 or 6 buttons deal with how to manipulate the frame and the content. So let's start here. I have my frame selected, just the frame, notice, because it's the blue, not the contents of the frame, which is the image. And I'm going to click on Auto Fit. And when I grab a corner of my graphics container and I hold down Shift, constrain my proportions, and then I click and I give it a second and I start to drag slowly, you can see in live time how my frame and my image are moving proportional. So it is auto-fitting or automatically fitting my image to the size of my frame. This is a really handy option that came about in CS4, I believe, or CS5. I'm going to deselect this for now so I can show you the other options. To show you these other options, I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's overlapping some of my type here. And I'm going to show you the first instance right here, which is fill frame proportionally. So it will fill this entire frame with the picture proportionally. See? Now it's all filled. When I click here on the inside, here's my image. And if I come up here, notice how it is proportional. Okay? These numbers are the same. My horizontal and vertical are exactly the same. So this is one way to fill a box proportionally. I'm going to go undo. The next way to fill it is to do this option here, which is fit content proportionally. So I kind of moved my box, once again the size of it a little bit, but I'm going to click on this option and you can see that it moves and it creates the image 100% within this box. It's fitting, like it says right here, tooltip, it's fitting my content proportionally. So either one of these are really good ones to use. This one right here is not really a good option to use because when I click on it, what it's going to do is it's going to stretch my image. It's going to create an image that is not proportional. And I'll prove that by coming over here and selecting my content instead of clicking on a bullseye. There I have the brown around my image. And when I come up here and look at my horizontal and vertical scale, you can see that they are not equal. This is what I never want to see. I never want to see an image that is scaled non-proportionally. It just looks weird. Okay, so that's one thing you're never going to do. This one here, though, you may use, which is fitting the frame to the content. So I may have a case where, I don't know, I manipulated the frame and I got it too big and I got my content right where it was. And really this is very simple. I click here and watch the frame. The frame will kind of come in and adhere to the size of the image. So this is a nice one to use. And then the last one here I want to show you, I'm going to make again my frame, my container a little bigger, is to center the content. And I've used this so many times it's not even funny. So I'm centering my content within my frame. So these 5 settings here, 6 actually, are what help to manipulate the content or the graphics within its container. To show you the text wrap, I'm going to use this one here, which is fitting my frame to my content, and I'm going to move my content over into the middle of my document. I'm going to open up my text wrap palette, and I'm going to see that I have several options. No text wrap, wrap around the bounding box, wrap around an object shape, and jump object. Let's just demonstrate these. The first one does exactly what it says. It's wrapping the text around the bounding box. You'll notice that this link is selected, which is making all the settings the same. I'm going to deselect this, and I'm just going to start kind of pushing the text out a little bit to the right. Now, it says flush left, ragged right, so you can see how it kind of breaks up on the side here. If I hit it justified, which I can do down here, you're going to see it look a little differently. There we go. Okay, go back to my text wrap. And then I can push it out a little bit to the right. So this is how you set up your text wrap, how far the text goes around your image. And in the default options of InDesign, we actually, it'll skip it according to the letting, okay? So this is one way. This is using your wrap around the bounding box. This one here is wrap around object shape. So if I had an object shape that was perhaps like round inside of this bounding box, I would use this one. The other option I have available to you is to jump the object. When I jump the object, and I'm going to bring all these values back down to 0, you're going to see that it just completely goes around the object. This one you use most often when you have multi-columns of text, okay? Because you really don't want this in the middle of a story. Like this looks kind of awkward and weird. You would use this option right here, okay? And then you would kind of explore your settings, or you would manipulate them, and you can see how this blue line's coming out showing where my text wrap is. So um, play with the options, use your tool tips, and that's all for graphics.